Welcome in the kitchen. You all are here on tomato canning day. That's what we're doing today, canning tomatoes. And I just dropped 4 tomatoes right here in this boiling water. And I just leave them for just a few seconds till that skin wants to turn loose. And then I throw them over here in an ice bath. Then I peel them. It's the way you peel tomatoes to can. My mama never put them in an ice bath. We just had to have asbestos hands when it come to peeling tomatoes in the summertime. And mind you, my daddy used to grow the best tomatoes. Oh my goodness. I cannot grow a tomato worth a hoot to save my life. I just cannot. I've tried for years and I cannot grow tomatoes like my daddy did. I just can't. I don't know if it's the dirt where we live. It's the fact that maybe I don't tend them like he did, but I try to baby them. I really do. And I really do try. But that doesn't always mean anything, does it? And so look, I bought me some tomatoes. They're 25-pound boxes. I've got 2, so that's 50 pounds of tomatoes. That's just a drop in the bucket for what we will need come wintertime. I've got 4 quarts of tomatoes left of what I canned last year, and I think I canned maybe 300-400 pounds of tomatoes last year. Yes, we use a lot of tomatoes. I also made bacon tomato jam last year, which I'm going to make again. I'll make that again with you all. That is absolutely the best stuff. I eat it just with corn chips, tortilla chips. Or eat it with, put it over cream cheese. Christmas time, you're going different places doing things. Put it over, take you a small jar, pour it over some cream cheese, take some crackers. People will love you because that is the best stuff. They'll be going, where did you get this? And you'll be able to say, I made it. And then they're going to say, I want the recipe. And then you can either give them the recipe or do like my mama did one time and say, it's a secret family recipe. I can't give it out. So, you've got a choice. What you want to do. I should have got me a bigger pot of water, y'all. I know, I should have. All right, let me get some water in here for our ice bath. Dump those right there. I'm going to bring y'all over here where we're going to do our peeling and so forth. Can y'all see down in my sink right here? You can if I move my big pot, can't you? All right, turn y'all around just a little bit. Now you can see down in the sink. Here's my trash. That's enough water right there. Let me grab a knife. Got me one of these real sharp knives here. And this is the way I do them. I just start coring it. See, when you slit that, do you see how that skin just peels apart? All right. There's that. Now then, I save my skins. The skins just peel off right like this. Peel right off. Oh, I need my bowl. Where's my big bowl? Here's my big bowl right here. Wait, I get an assembly line going, y'all. That little bit on the bottom, sometimes it'll peel off and sometimes you have to cut it off. But my tomato skins, I put in the oven and dehydrate them. If you have a dehydrator, you can do that with them. But then we make tomato powder. And I was standing here going, do I want to make tomato powder? And then I decided, yes, I do. Some people do not do that with their skins. That's got a little starting to get a bad place in it, so I just get that off. Alrighty. Did y'all see how easy these peel? The peel just comes right off of them. All right, let me grab these 4. There's 4 more, and I'll put 4 more in. All right, now then, we're just going to do these 4 at a time until we get all, or a big bowl full of them, and then we're going to puree them. This one's got a bad spot. I'll cut it out generously. All right, turn the lights on, Andy. Okay, I've got all these tomatoes right here cut up. Now the next step that I do, now you don't have to do yours this way. I like tomato puree. I've told y'all that. I don't like chunks of tomato. If you like your tomatoes diced, dice them. If you want them pureed, puree them. If you want them whole, leave them whole. Or quarter them, or whatever you want to do with them. This is what I do right here. And I turn this on low, and I just start dropping my tomatoes in there. Just whacking them up to where they'll go down that chute, just like this, into the food processor. All right, now I'm going to turn it up on high. All right, now then, I'm going to dump them right here in this big pot. This is just my big water bath canner pot. And I'm going to do that with all these tomatoes. Then I'll come back. All right, y'all, I don't have quite all the tomatoes in this big canner, but I got to thinking, that thing's going to weigh over 50 pounds and I won't be able to lift it. I wasn't thinking when I set it right here. I need to go ahead and put it on the stove before I finish those. But what I want to show you all is a trick. It's a trick. If you've got a canner like this, they tell you not to put them on a flat top stove because they will suction down. And they will. I've had mine do that. And they're really hard to get up. And you have to be very careful or you'll crack your top, okay? I have here an ordinary old wire coat hanger, okay? And I'm going to set it right across the top of this eye, right like that. Do y'all see that down there? See that? Just going to set it right like that. And I'm going to set this pot right on top of it. That's my tip for the day. Because then that will not allow this to suction to your cooktop. Okay? My mama had a little thing that my daddy made out of a coat hanger. He just bent the coat hanger a little differently. I just figured I'd just lay it flat on there. It'll be just fine. But you need something just to give it that little bit of height there. And this will be fine. I'm going to go ahead and start heating up these tomatoes right here. And I got a few more to go. And when I get those done, I'm going to dump them in here and I'll be back. All right, all of our tomatoes are in our pot. That's a pot full of tomatoes, isn't it? It's 50 pounds. 50 pounds of tomatoes. Our tomato puree, tomato juice, but we're going to cook it down a little bit. We're going to bring it to a boil and let it simmer maybe 30, 45 minutes, maybe even as much as an hour, because then we're just evaporating out the water, okay? And you're not canning water. So, I'm just going to let this come to a boil. I'll show you once it starts to boil kind of what it looks like, but you can see it's getting the foam on top, so it's just about there. You can add just a little bit of butter, maybe a tablespoon, maybe two for this big pot full. I don't know that I will. Depends on how foamy they get, and then if I decide I want to do that, or you can just skim it off. But it's flavor, y'all. It's fine. It won't hurt a thing. And then we're going to put them in our jars. And our jars are in the oven at 250 degrees. My oven is on 250. My jars are in the oven. Got like 20 jars. I don't think I have 20 quarts of tomatoes, but I might. I don't know how many quarts are in 50 pounds. Do y'all know? I don't. We're going to find out. From year to year, I can't remember. I always buy my tomatoes 50 pounds at a time because that's about all I can do before I give out. And I'll go back and get me 2 more boxes. They're 25-pound boxes. I'll get me 2 more boxes. And then do those 2. I'm going to make some salsa with y'all. We did not have enough salsa last year. So we're going to make extra salsa this year because that's something we really enjoyed last year. We did not have near enough of it. So, and I would have taken some of my canned tomatoes and made some, but y'all, I didn't have any extra tomatoes. Like I said, I think I've got 4 more quarts over there. And that's all I've got left. And I did about 400 pounds of tomatoes, 300 pounds of tomatoes last year. So that was 12 boxes. Yeah, I did every bit of that, many, maybe more. So, you all, if you want to, take your rings and your seals and boil them in hot water. And if they're hot and your tomatoes are hot and your jars are hot, they're going to seal and they're going to be just fine. But I'm not going to do mine that way this year. I'm going to cook them down, and then I'm going to set them in the oven and let them seal. That works two, just to set them in the oven at about 250 or 300 degrees for, I don't know, an hour or so. Or I may just jar them up and stick them back in this water bath canner for 5 minutes. I think that's all you have to do. Tomatoes, I'll have to get out my ball book and look, but I'll let you know here in a few minutes. All right, y'all, these tomatoes are boiling. They're just boiling away. See them? Get that foam across the top. See how they're bubbling? All right, I'm going to let these boil. I'm going to stir them to keep them, two things. One, from boiling over. And yes, I could put butter around the rim of that pot. And yes, I probably will do that. I just have to get me some butter out of the refrigerator. This will keep them from boiling over, as well as it'll take care of some of that foam on the top of them. And for all this mini, I'm probably going to use a couple tablespoons of butter, and that's not much at all. This butter's refrigerator cold, so I'm just going to go in here like this and let it just start melting around the sides here. All right. Now then, I'm going to let this boil for about 30-45 minutes. Okay, just sit there and boil like that. I'll stir it occasionally to keep them from sticking. And I'm going to let these boil up good, and then we're going to put them in our jars. And like I said, the way I'm doing this, the reason you need to water bath these for an hour is because you've not heated them through first. But by cooking them down, then I'm going to set mine in the oven at 250 degrees for an hour or more. And then I'll turn the oven off and they'll seal. I have done it like this where my jars were hot, my tomatoes were hot. My seals and my rings were all hot and they seal right up. And I've never lost a jar. That is not an approved way of canning. So if y'all are worried about that, don't do them that way. Water bath them for an hour and 15 minutes, I think it is. But when you do that, you don't have to cook them first. I'm cooking mine so I don't have to do that. So I'm kind of taking that step out of it. But I will set these in the oven just to make sure that they do seal, because I'm not heating my seals this time. But they will seal up and they'll do just lovely. See how that butter took a lot of that foam off the top of that? Sure did. All right, I'll be back when we get ready to put these in the jars. Okay, our tomatoes have been boiling for a good 30 minutes or more. So I'm going to start jarring them up. Okay. I'll get me out a couple jars at a time here to do. I'll turn them off. They'll stay hot in here. Try not to spill them like I'm doing. Go down in there and get some of that good pulp because it does tend to sink to the bottom. Oh, I need to turn that rice all the way down, y'all. I'm losing my brain here. I'm not thinking straight. All right, now then, I always use new seals. I always do. Let me get a paper towel with some vinegar. About to forget that. I'm going to do a couple of these with y'all, then I'm going to do the rest of them. So you don't have to watch me. Because, you know, there's only so much watching you can do, right? You want to make sure that that ring is good and clean. And I'm not sure that that jar might have a crack. We'll see. If it doesn't seal, I will redo it next time. You need to do them fingertip tight, you all. Fingertip tight, which that's what I did, but I will pick it up and come down on it a little bit more. Now then, I always take me a dish towel. Here it is. And I pick them up like this and seal that down. Okay? Just like that. We'll get us out a couple more. Uh-oh, they're crashing on me. There's one. Let me get these off of the top. There's 3 more jars right here. 1, 2, and 3.
Whoa. No play, no clothes.
We've been to Lowe's.
Do you want to go with the Walmart?
No, we're not going to Walmart. Y'all, there went my spoon.
Do you want to go with the Target?
No.
Do you want to go with the TJ Maxx? I'm gonna go with the Dollar Tree. Do you wanna go with the Office Depot? Do you wanna go with the Kroger?
Y'all, he's just got go-itis.
Do you wanna go with the Food Wire?
We've been out today. We've been to Lowe's and gotten stuff for a shelving project that we're doing.
I'm gonna go with the Eagles.
So forth, so. Alright, let's clean the rims off.
Do you wanna go with the Food City?
Alright, now then.
Do you want
Because this is all liquid, you do not need to debubble it. Now then, let me pick them up and close that down on there. All right, now those really are not tight, real tight, y'all. They're just, I just, did them what I could with my hand, and I didn't screw them down good and hard. They're just, what they call fingertip tight. Well, there one slid completely out all the way down to the bottom. I'm gonna lay him right there. Okay. We'll do these 5. Pick that one back up there. I prefer wide mouth jars, you all, to the regular mouth. I just think they're easier to work with. They're easier to stack if you need to stack things. It's got a lot of pulp in it. Okay. But jars is a preference. You don't have to have a wide mouth. You can use, and I will do some of these in pints. Maybe not these, but I always put some up in pints. Because, turn the lights back on. I always do some in pints because I may not always need a whole quart of tomatoes. No, we're not going to Five Below. No.
I wanna go with the best style.
No.
Do you want to go with the sports outdoors?
No. And the reason you won't.
Go with the
I'm gonna try to be
good.
No, go on in your room now. Daddy's cooking supper. Yeah, we're grilling us a steak, so Daddy's cooking. I've got some rice over here. The reason you need your jars hot is because if you put this hot tomatoes in a cold jar, you'll crack it every time. And you don't want your jars too hot because that will also crack. Okay, so so I have them at 250 degrees. sure how many jars we're going to get. I have a pint jar in there in case I have just a little bit that won't fit in a quart. We can do a pint. Okay. Yeah, still. Let's clean these off around the top. Okay, now here's my small lids called regular mouth lids.
I'm gonna go with the King's Sports.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with the scale for breakaway. I'm gonna go with the pointy flags.
No.
Do you wanna go with the Bristol?
Okay. There's 12. I'm going to slide these over here if I can. Tray's hot. Okay, there's that. Now then, let me get us out another pan if I can find us another pan down here. I think my pans are out there. So, instead of a pan, we're going to get us some towels to set these hot things on. We probably won't have 12 more. We'll have maybe. I don't know how many. We're going to find out though. Let me check this rice real quick. Do you want to go with the Sunday? Turn that off. Do you want to go with the Johnny Brewsters? I'm gonna go with the McAllisters.
Do you want to go with the Fredos? I'm gonna go with the Zaxby's. Do you want to go with the McDonald's? Do you want to go with the Olive Garden? I'm gonna go with the Black Olive. Do you want to go with the Applebee's?
Well, what do you know? They came out even in quarts. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 quarts. 18 out of probably, I don't know, 100 that I need to do. I'm not even sure, but I know I need a bunch. So this is not the last of many days. This is just the first of many days I will spend in this kitchen canning tomatoes. If I don't put up anything else in the summertime, I put up tomatoes because there's just no substitute for these. There's just not. And green beans. I can green beans because there's just no substitute for them. And our little thing did just lovely. Look here. See? It did perfect. It did not stick. It gave just enough airspace for that not to stick on there, and did not seal down, and it did great. All right, now I got to get these other couple jars out of here, and then I got to stack all these others back in here. Okay, there's 2 more. I had 2 extras, 3 extras. Now then, I'm just going to set these right in here on this rack, just like that, because I don't have another pan. Leave a little bit of space in between them. See if I can get these 3 more. Yeah, maybe I can. I hope I can. I got 1 more. Will it fit? There we go. All right. 250 degrees. Oven's still on, 250 degrees. I'm going to leave them for an hour. Now I'm going to turn the oven off and let them sit in there and cool down, and every one of those will seal pop, 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 pop. And then I'll take them out of the oven. I'll put the date on them and mark the jar lids, and I always use a Sharpie marker for that, because that way when I go to looking through my lids to can again, I will know I have used those. Okay? And like I said, this is not an FDA approved method for canning. So you can like this at your own risk. I have never had a problem with it, but that's not to say that you wouldn't. So I am putting out a disclaimer there. This is not FDA approved, okay? So, but that's the way I do it. and I've never had a problem. That's just me. So you all do this at your own risk. But I do heat those tomatoes completely through when I bring them to a boil and boil them for 30 minutes. So, and I think one reason they say not to do this is because you're not, if you're doing your tomatoes before you've cooked them, and these tomatoes have been cooked. So, y'all remember, like, share, subscribe, comment, ring the bell for notifications so you don't miss a video. That'll be all for this one, but not my last canning of the season by any means. We're going to make some salsa. And it's so good. I can't wait to make more salsa. We didn't have near enough last year. And I'll see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching.